Uncover the hidden world of political campaigns in just 5 minutes. Join me, your host, David Washington, on Countertop Politics every Monday for exclusive campaign insights, tantalizing innuendo, and the secret sauce behind successful political campaigns. Don't miss out. Let's go. All right, all right. It is Monday, at least right now it is, and it's my favorite day of the year on my favorite podcast. It's Countertop Politics. I'm your host, David Washington, your favorite political innovator. And of course, today, 5 minutes or thereof, I'm going to try and make this quick, of campaign insight, political innuendo, and the secret sauce to winning campaign strategy. So it is the baseball season officially started. Go White Sox. What a horrible weekend they had in Milwaukee, but that's for a different day. But I want to use some baseball analogies here. Um, in the headline story is about independent voters and what we're seeing as far as the growing phenomena of independent voters and independent thinking voters. Okay, so they can be Democrat or Republican, and they tend to vote for, if you're a Republican, a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, Republican, you vote Republican. But let's start here. And so in the 1950s and 60s, Democrats enjoyed a roughly 20-point lead in party affiliation. As of 2025, that advantage is almost gone, disappeared, kaput. Okay. So if we're going to use baseball analogies, the independent roster is the fastest growing team in the league. The share of Americans claiming no political affiliation has doubled from 10% to 20% over the last decade. For many groups, especially Black men and white women without college degrees, the shift away from the Democratic Party hasn't resulted in a home run for Republicans. Instead, these voters are moving into the unaffiliated category. In full disclosure, me personally, I'm one of those non party affiliate voters. So, in the context of the Trump coalition, the data suggests that these nonpartisan voters have been crucial to Donald Trump's electoral success, even though they traditionally turn out at lower rates than partisan stayers. Okay? So, I was reading a study, and it was an excellent study by Brad Jones for YouGov. And the title of that study, 2 Decades of Partisanship in the Cooperative Election Study. This is dated March 24th, 2026. And thank you to L2 Data Mapping for posting this on their X site. And great work by Brad Jones. He is the Senior Research Director of the Scientific Research Division in YouGov. So, this is the information I gathered from Brad's study. And I'll post a link to that study in the show notes. The study highlights a massive split based on education, often called the diploma divide. Non-college voters, this is key. This group has been the most dramatic shift away from Democratic Party. For example, white women without a college degree went from leaning Democratic, that's before 2010, to being split or lean Republican today. Another key point, the counter trend. One of the only groups moving toward the Democrats is younger white men with college degrees. So that means millennials and Generation Z. This is one of the only groups moving toward the Democrats. younger white men with college degrees. And so let's look at demographic and religious scouting here. The swing is also geographic. People in most rural areas have made the largest moves away from the Democratic Party over the last decade. So most of these swing voters are coming from people in mostly rural areas. Religious shifts. Nearly every religious group has trended more Republican or independent, with two notable exceptions: atheists and Mormons, both of whom have moved in a more democratic direction. So we're seeing more and more individuals of certain religious groups, not the Mormons, not atheists, moving towards the independent side of the ledger or the Republican side of the ledger. So here's our countertop politics takeaway. The swing in modern elections is increasingly dictated by the 20% who belong to no one. Both parties are no longer just fighting over the center, they are fighting to recruit from a growing pool of political free agents who are disillusioned with the traditional two-party system. Democrats, Republicans, I hope you're listening very clearly to what we're saying. You're fighting to recruit from a growing pool of political free agents. You have to get after that because right now, what I see in Florida, it's not the case. And unfortunately, that is not to the benefit to your constituents, to voters in general, and those independents who are engaged in the electoral process. So, saying that, if you enjoy what you are listening to and what you see, please do not hesitate to like, share, and hit the notification button for the algorithm and all that stuff to keep us in the loop and on your home pages. Also, what I prefer and really enjoy are your comments. Please comment, engage with us about what you think independents are thinking, whether what issues matter the most to them, or for any voter, what matters to them, what their kitchen table issues are. If you're a strategist, a political, an elected or candidate, please, I'd love to hear what you have to say. And let's have a tactful, engaging conversation about what you hear and see on Countertop Politics. And of course, if you're going to comment, please let any of your family, friends, those influencers in the wild, those candidates, the electeds, let them know that you're engaging with Countertop Politics in all of our network properties. And that means the David Washington Show, Ground Zero Florida, the Fernandez Legacy, From the Margins with Jimmy Afine, and then, of course, the King Exchange. We want to know what matters to you so that we can deliver on what you want to hear and what you want to learn more about. On that note, it's Monday. This is Countertop Politics. I am your favorite political innovator, David Washington. We'll see you the next time. God bless. I love you. See ya.